All right. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm live streaming on TikTok and YouTube, dual streaming here. Um, my setup is a little finicky. Last night I did oh, welcome. It's not flat. Thanks for joining. Last night I did a hangout with the Hangout While I Draw live stream on my YouTube channel, and I thought I created a separate OBS scene collection, but I did it wrong and I completely destroyed my Flat Earth versus Globe scene collection in OBS. And so I had to completely rebuild it. Welcome, Verisfy. Um, Thanks for joining. Hopefully I rebuilt this correctly. It probably looks just the same pretty much to people on TikTok, but people on YouTube, you will notice a few changes. I think probably if I did everything correctly, the biggest change you'll notice is just that the chat screens are a little smaller. And that is more because I'm not using an external monitor right now. I've just crammed everything onto one screen. Hopefully the experience is not too subpar. So welcome everyone. I got somebody named World of War Shirts. Welcome. So the reason I'm streaming right now is actually because last night when I tried to live stream the artist hangout thing to TikTok, I ran into this error message where Live Studio was literally saying, hold on, I can show you. It was saying this, display capture was blocked. I could not do display capture in TikTok Live Studio because I hadn't streamed for a month, and TikTok was just like, oh, we're just going to kick you out of this feature. Oh, is that Chris Van Am in my chat? Welcome, Chris Van Am. If you want to join, let me see if I have audience controls pulled up here. Oh, do I? Did they revoke those privileges too? I hope they didn't revoke those privileges. Oh man. They probably did. So anyway, as you can see in this screenshot with the error message, the remedy here, I don't know if you can even read that on. It says, unlock display capture by going live on Live Studio one more time for 25 minutes. Validation may take up to 48 hours. So that's what I'm doing now. I am going live, and I've set a timer for 30 minutes just for good measure. Let me see if I can accept guests or not, because oh my gosh, TikTok is a dumpster fire. The way it is just revoking privileges and stuff. Oh, okay, here we go. Jeff Polson requested to join. Let me see if I can accept.
What's up, man?
Welcome.
I'm a fan. I like your videos. I'm on your side.
Awesome.
Just to cut through 5 minutes of screening.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so you got 25 minutes to kill, huh?
I guess, and I'm glad to see that guests joining does work. That TikTok did not yank the rug out from under me on that feature, because they did it with the display capture. I can't show my screen to you guys.
Weird.
There's no way I can do that right now. So
like you can't even do the background thing where you slide your background.
No. Wow. I can, if I have an image saved to my computer, then I can show that image.
That static image, yeah.
But I don't know if I can even do that while a guest is on. I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Well, let's get your access back. We'll get this straightened right back out.
Thank you. It's because I hadn't streamed in over a month, maybe multiple months. I
Ah, yeah,
had,
they started clamping down.
yeah, life stuff was happening.
Oh yeah, man, life is more important. We're
So,
not we're not in a cult. We're not in a cult. Your family and your job are way more important than a social media program.
well, thank you so much for your encouragement and support. It means a lot to me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man. Shoot, you go on vacation for a week. I used to be like in a game where like you're supposed to raid every day or whatever. I go on vacation for a week and they drop me out of the task force. It's like I was busy with my family, dog. I can't.
Right?
I mean, holy moly.
Some of us have lives.
Mm.
So I did see Chris Van Am in here for a second. He might have just like
Oh
been
yeah,
swiping through. If
yeah.
we get any flat earthers in here, I am certainly
Oh yes.
willing to let them join here. Let me see if I can get audience controls up. Where's that window?
You're a
Yours.
really patient. You're a really patient guy. I'm one of those guys. Like once someone starts disrespecting me, I go straight for the throat. I can't take it. Once they start calling me stupid or whatever, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, genius. What level of education do you know what I mean? Like, why would you call me stupid? You know, like I have papers to prove I'm not stupid.
Well, I try. Heaven knows that it can be difficult sometimes.
It seems like everyone that's been patient has eventually lost it. Eventually, they stop being patient.
Yeah.
Even Stingray, who I thought was like Globe Earth Gandhi, it's finally gone for the throat. I mean, I've watched Stingray talk to one flat earther, a militant flat earther, for like 10 hours.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
he is literally the most. He was, and he's like beef talk. Let's go. Let's get after it.
Amazing. Yeah.
I think the thing that surprises me the most, what's finally occurred to me after I don't know how many years of arguing with these flat earthers, is in their lives, they're trying to crowdsource information. They're trying to brainstorm how everything works. And I mean, I think we'd all agree that works if you're trying to, I don't know, hack a system or something where it's like, let's try this, let's try that, let's try this. But there's proven science about the Earth. You don't sit in a room and discuss whether a toroidal electromagnetic field could be causing gravity. That's already been solved, y'all. It's already been solved. You're just brainstorming a bunch of, by the way, no offense to anyone who doesn't have degrees, that's fine. That has nothing to do with intelligence or understanding or anything. But when you have a room full of people with no higher education brainstorming how the world works, that's just ignorance breeding ignorance. It's
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it blows my mind. And then
That's a really interesting insight that they're.
yeah, and you try and lend information and they yell at you and block you. You're like, I've even gone in and like literally tried to help. Like there was one group, they were like trying to like map where people could see the sun on a flat map of the Earth, you know. And I'm like, what you want to be talking about, I think, is not where people can see the sun. You want to talk about the subsolar point. And some lady in the group, because I'm like, what you're doing is noble. I think that's great. Some lady in the group just chimes up, you globbers always talking down to us.
Okay, hold on a second. TikTok has
Yeah.
just given me a message saying your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because it contains unoriginal or reproduced content. This is in line with the for you
What would
feed
that be?
eligibility standards. I don't know what the heck that's got to be. It maybe some flat earther just reported me for no reason or something.
Weird. Weird. Unoriginal, but unoriginal content? That doesn't seem like something you report people for.
Like, I mean, the double standards here are just shocking because how many TikTok lives do you see where it's just like you said, like flat earthers just sitting around just
Yeah.
BSing and here I am like
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything worse than that. Like I'm just,
No. No. So if anything, you're trying to share information, actual real information, verifiable scientific information.
I mean, I haven't
I
done
don't know
that
what
yet,
could
but
be
I've been
unoriginal
live for
content
10
we're talking.
freaking minutes. It hasn't given me a chance yet. What could I have done?
You haven't played any audio or anything. I don't know how it could be unoriginal.
It's literally just been you and me
I
talking.
don't
There has
know
been
what that
nothing
means.
else other unless they are talking about
unique conversation.
unless they're talking about my live background, which I rendered myself. That is my CGI that I created. So it's like,
Right.
how is
That's original.
how is this unoriginal content? What the heck?
Amazing.
Like, I didn't
Amazing.
even do anything to deserve being. There's people in here saying Flurf's mass reporting. Maybe that's true, but I haven't even done anything to
I did go on a
provoke them
live.
yet. It's just
I
they
think there
must.
used to be, and my impression is there used to be bots of some type. This is just my impression because I went into a Glober's live one night, and I mean I was in there for like 30 seconds, and I got banned for a week, and like I hadn't even said anything. Like they were just somehow mass reporting everybody because I had done nothing. I mean literally nothing, and I lost my account for a week. I was like, well, what did I even do?
Oh man, it's literally they take
That's
it
hilarious.
as warfare. It is so. Oh my goodness. And notice,
Well, it's unethical, obviously. They're using
notice on my
a
stream,
policy to.
I have very prominently displayed truce zone. My goal is
Yeah,
not to
right.
provoke them.
Right.
And yet somehow just me existing provokes them. I guess they have a hate boner or something.
Apparently so. But Earth holds no water. I like that. I don't know what to say. So are they saying that this doesn't count towards your 25 minutes? Is that what they're saying?
Oh, I sure hope that's not what they're saying.
I have no
That
idea.
better not be
The
what they're
messages
saying,
are
because
always
that,
so
I mean,
cryptic.
at that point, I'm just in a straitjacket. What can I do?
That's right.
It just happened again. Literally just happened
The
again.
exact same message?
Yes.
It says, what exactly? You're ineligible because it's not original content?
Yes.
I will
TikTok's
say this.
moderation
The other day,
system is absolutely broken.
I will say this. This might help. The other day I was in the TikTok shops and I bought a whole box of TikToks and it was amazing. I recommend everyone go to the TikTok shop and buy the box of TikToks. You'll never forget. The first day you bought a whole box of TikToks at the TikTok shops.
Are you plugging their stuff to make them like us better?
Yeah, I'm trying to feed the algorithm. Yeah. That's one of my things. I talk about a box of TikToks, a whole box of TikToks at the TikTok shops. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it seems to work. I don't know. We'll see when you get your next warning. I don't know. You know, who knows? I think they're smart enough to know that TikTok shops are good for them, and therefore, when I talk about TikTok shops, they should like me. I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
If
Yeah,
you
I
guys
talk about
can
a
hear
whole
the
box of
dog
TikToks.
barking in the background, don't mind that. That's I'm at a rental place and that's the host's dog. She has like 3 or 4 dogs.
I have 2 dogs. Yeah, Ted Koresh might be right. You can take the people you don't recognize and block them, but I hate that too. I think that sucks.
I mean that's like dystopian if I have to do that. Like because the whole point here is for me to invite conversations and meet new people. Like what am I doing here on social media if I can't do that?
Hey, Ted Koresh, are you in Missouri, by the way? Have you made it to Missouri? Ted was traveling to the United States. So, like, kind of my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I got appeal not approved.
Not yet, mate, huh? You got, what, about a week or what? I mean, don't dox yourself. You can always just DM me if you want. I might be able to find some excuse to come up there. My daughter probably will spend a week this summer in Kansas City, so I could probably hit a weekend or something, at least an overnight or something. About 3 weeks, okay. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I mentioned you were coming to Level Devil, and he got all cranky and said you're a concave earther. I was like, okay. I mean, he seems like a rational guy to me. I don't know.
Are you talking to Ted Koresh?
Yeah.
Is Ted Koresh a concave earther?
I don't know. I know he's an anti-flat earther, so he's on our team as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there's limitations to that logic, but I get.
I've never heard. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what he has a chance to comment here. I like Ted. We've talked for many hours. I kind of at some point, like to me, anything but flat. Okay, well I guess that is true then. The thing I say is it's like politics, for example. If you could be a good person and have rational conversations, I don't care if you disagree with me on politics. But if you're just going to shout out irrational things, then we can't have a conversation. So then I guess politics is a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't demand someone agree with me, but I do demand respect.
I've been neglecting my YouTube chat. I've got people on YouTube. There was Mike Gurney said, "Hi, Peter. Thank you." And then Matt B was saying, Uh, yeah, some of his comments were relevant
Did you see?
earlier.
Did you see Peterson talk to Free Planet Peterson on YouTube?
Oh, I have seen one of those. I think he might have
Yeah,
done it more than once, but I have seen one of them.
the most recent one he calls him like ramen hair. He gets him pretty good. He gets him pretty good a few times.
Yeah, yeah, I saw one where he called him ramen hair. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
that one or not, but
Honestly, I've decided Free isn't worth the energy. It's all name calling with him. You can't have a rational conversation. It's just exhausting.
I got a few clips of him being dishonest. That was fun.
Oh yeah, I mean he'll lie about definitions. He'll make things up on the fly. He thinks we're arguing like we're in a middle school lunchroom and like it's about popularity. He doesn't understand that like when you're actually arguing, you need to use reality. And when you don't use reality, we stop and go, "Wait a second, you're a liar."
Yeah. Oh,
A lot of arguments on here. I'm surprised how much people want us to entertain liars. It's like we're having it. We don't know each other. If you're gonna lie, then we have no context to have a conversation.
Yeah. Um, I have a I have an idea for something I'm gonna do at some point, and I haven't had time to do this yet because again, life was getting in the way. But if you look at one of my previous or most recent like TikTok lives, or it's on my YouTube channel now because you can't like save live streams on TikTok. But if you look at one of my recent live streams,
is it your same name? Is your TikTok your YouTube the same name?
Yeah, Peter Markley.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, I'll go over there.
One of the more recent ones from because again I took a break, but it was like I think back in April or May, I did a live stream where I demonstrated that shadows refract, and the reason I demonstrated that was because Austin Whitsitt and Angels of Light were both saying that silhouettes don't refract and shadows don't refract. Oh, and Nathan Thompson also. All three of those guys were saying this. They repeated it to me on Modern Day Debates, and they even laughed in my face when, like, over this, like when I tried to correct them. So it's been like a series of things where at first I put out a YouTube video that tangentially mentioned it, and I was like, by the way, a silhouette or a shadow is just a hole in light. So it's the absence of light, the same way that a pothole is the absence of road. And are you going to say that like an earthquake doesn't shake a pothole? Just because it's not asphalt? Like that doesn't make any logical sense. And I thought that would be the end of it because like as soon as I point out that logic, how can you deny it? Surely if they had even an ounce of rationality, they would listen to those words and go, "Oh, I better not say that again because that makes me look like a freaking idiot." But nope, they doubled down. So I made a video, like I think back in October or something, where I filled a little tub with water and I demonstrated like shadows and silhouettes refracting in that. They still doubled down. So I'm like, okay, I got this little acrylic like prism or something, and I demonstrated it even more clearly on a little sheet of paper. And so you can see that in my live stream from like May or April. So what I want to do in the future is take off this banner at the top that says Truth Zone and Flat versus Globe, and basically just the only thing we're going to talk about is shadows refracting. And I'm going to invite Free.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, okay, Free, your buddy Angel has not only said that shadows don't refract, but he laughed in my face when I tried to correct him over it. And he is still repeating it to this day. So, let me show you that he is categorically, objectively wrong. And then I'm going to ask you, what does it mean to you that your buddy, that you look up to, that you imitate and repeat all the time, has laughed in someone's face about correcting their wrongness? Like, what does that what does that mean to you? Walk through that logic with me. They are not just a liar. Angel is a complete fraud. It's like it's a new level of liar. It's like he embodies his dishonesty. He puts it on like an outfit. Like that's his
Yes, he's
whole
anti-truth.
identity online is just lying. And it's like,
He's literally a warrior for ignorance.
yes.
He's literally actively spreading ignorance.
So that's
And
what
the
I want to
question is,
do.
what would his motivation be to actively spread ignorance? Why would anyone be actively spreading ignorance? Not
Right.
not having a belief that's counter to us. You know, we could go through all that. Let's not. But I mean, to actually, someone says something smart, and they go no and laugh. You're an idiot. That's dumb. And they obviously have no logical answer for why they say it doesn't.
Yeah.
But like a simple example would be if I took a circle of laser pointers and I point that circle at the ground, it's going to make a shadow that's going to be elongated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's angled to the ground. Then I add water, and then that oval changes shape because all the lasers refract with the water. Therefore, the shadow cast would change shape.
Right. It's the
It's
simplest thing to
straightforward to me.
reason through. It's like,
Yeah.
and
Unless they literally are going to argue that a shadow is a negative and negatives can't do anything, which there's a moderate logical point there, but I bet that's not what they're saying.
well, the thing is, it's still
A
fallacious
shadow is
because you're
formed by the light, like you say, a pothole is formed by the pavement around the hole. So therefore, a shadow is formed by the light around the hole. Therefore, when the light around the shadow refracts, so does the shadow.
it's
Yes.
literally like the best
Yes.
steel man you can make of it is that it is a semantic game to deny reality because
Right.
it's essentially like if you can imagine that pothole scenario, we've got
Right.
person A is saying the pothole is right here, and person B is saying
Right.
no, the pothole is right here, and the only reason it looks like it's over here is because of um the like I don't know, the analogy's breaking down.
Magic.
Like an earthquake makes
Yeah.
it shake, right? Um, but the person is saying like, no, that shaking is not real. The pothole is
Right.
not over there. The pothole
Right.
has to be over here because it's only a
Yeah.
pothole, and potholes don't shake.
Do
Like,
Do you know one of my
what?
simplest? Yeah. I've been using the most simple argument I could possibly use with flat earthers for a couple years, and so far, not a single one. The only answer I've gotten is optical illusion, basically. It's a global optical illusion. I asked them why the sun, you drive down a street that goes towards the east to work every day. Half the year, the sun's going to rise to the left of that road, which would be north of east, and half the year, the sun's going to rise to the right of that road, which is south of east. How, if the sun is circling the North Pole, does the sun ever rise south of east? It has to always be rising at the 3 o'clock position on a clock, where you're at the 6 o'clock position. Therefore, it always has to be north of you, and of course, way east. But it will always be north of you. No map they have does the sun rise somehow due east of me nor south of that. And I mean, they act like they don't understand. I've even got walked them through it. I go, on the equator, at the equinox, the sun rises due east, sets due west, and you can put a pole on the ground and draw a straight line. You don't have to agree with me even where east and west is. It comes up, it goes straight over the pole, straight down the other side, makes a straight line. It's east to west on the equinox, and therefore it's south of east for half the year, north of east for half the year. None of them have ever answered it with anything besides it's a global optical illusion that where the sun rises is somehow fake. It's so we have such a simple proof that the earth isn't flat, and they just nuh it away. They get on here every day and tell us the earth is flat when they can't explain the sun every morning. They can't predict where the sun's going to be. They can't explain why it rises in the south of east. It's absolutely mind-blowing that anyone could be a flat earther for more than about 2 months.
Yeah, that's a good
So
argument.
they all ignore logic. They all ignore logic. They all ignore science. What they have is what they accuse us of. They've been brainwashed. They've been indoctrinated. And the belief and the need for the belief to be true is more powerful than everything else they've got.
It's so amazing how aggressively they self-report when they talk about Globers.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they'll, you'll mention, oh, there's, 1 degree or half of 1 degree of optical refraction at the horizon, and then
Right.
and they will just go, oh no no no, you can't use that. That's a rescuing device. and then they invoke 180 degrees of optical refraction or more
Right.
for their
Right.
for
Right.
their
Right.
horrible
It's
inconsistencies.
yeah. You literally say, no, look, I've got a flat Earth proof I could show, but I mean, you get it. There's there's a city in Africa called Kango, and that's a subsolar point when the sun rises for us in the central time zone. So that's on the equator. On their map, it's at 3 o'clock on a clock. I'm at 6 o'clock on the clock, but yet somehow the sun rises due east. Well, if you're at the 6 o'clock position on the clock, it's got to be straight east. It can't be northeast. In fact, it's actually 45.3 degrees uh, north of east. And you ask them, so how does that work? They go, we have to understand east is a curve. No, east is a curve. In some scenarios, even on the globe, east is a curve if you're traveling. But optically, east is a straight line. And they're like, no. It's
East
like,
east is a curve, but it's a curve down instead of left or right. And that's the
well, it
part
all
that
depends.
destroys it. It's
Right,
like, well,
right,
you just invoked Earth curvature. I'm sorry. Game
right.
over.
Exactly. I mean, we all agree if you're at the North Pole and you walk a mile any direction, and then you walk a mile east and you walk back a mile north, you'll be back at the North Pole. Like, we do understand that the latitude lines circle the Earth. Now we think the Earth is still a sphere, but as you travel on if you were actually traveling across a latitude line, you would be technically turning slightly. But the whole point is, I'm talking about where the sun is when it comes up. I'm not talking about driving to the sun in a car, and therefore I'm going to turn 40. I'm going to
Right.
turn 90 degrees as I drive to the sun this morning. I'm talking about I get up out of my house, I look straight down my east-west road, and there's the sun. But Kango, Africa on a flat Earth is 45 degrees to my left. You can't
Yeah.
rectify that.
Rays of
They
light don't
never have
care
an answer.
about the how curved the
Yeah,
lines are on our map.
exactly. No matter what shape the Earth is, you have to explain where the sun's due east on the equinox. By the way, for everyone on Earth, the sun is due east at sunrise and due west at sunset. So you can draw a straight line across their flat Earth, and the top half of that line is looking straight the same way as the bottom half of the line, straight the other way.
So I gotta
So
do
how
some.
is the sun
I'm
over the
sorry.
plane if everyone's looking way off into space? It doesn't make sense.
I gotta do some housekeeping. Helping flat earthers, thank you so much for the roses. That is very kind of you. Also, welcome.
Yeah,
You are an awesome person.
yeah, he's
Um,
great.
and Copium Emporium on YouTube says hi. Hope you got some rest time in. Yes, I definitely slept well last night. I assume he's referring to like last night. I did a long live stream where I was drawing and I felt tired at the end. Real Cygnus says
Wow.
yo, welcome. Uh, Real Cygnus is saying, did he find a derpling yet? Or were you talking to the audience asking if I found a derpling? I have not had any live requests from flat earthers yet. We'll see. I am planning to quit soon.
Yeah, I was just getting you to your timeline.
Yeah, thank you. I was mainly going live here because I'll show it again. Last night when I tried to dual stream my drawing live stream, I found that TikTok had locked me out of this feature for display capture in Live Studio because I guess I had taken too long of a break from live streaming. It said you have to go live one more time for 25 minutes. So that's what this is. It's been 25 minutes. I'm probably going to quit soon, but
Nice.
anyway, thank
I
you so
told you I could
much.
fill 25 minutes, no problem.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Um,
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm a talker, dude. If you ever need someone, if you ever need to keep a live going.
Here, let me actually, I want to friend you. Can you type in the live chat real quick?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to follow you. There we go. You're always
Very
welcome
good.
back in my lives.
Awesome. Thank you. I think we've talked before. I've been in your lives before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, some stuff has like made my memory just terrible.
Sorry to hear that.
Just going through life stuff, that's
Thank
all.
you, helping predators. We've definitely. I think I've been in your lives too, helping. I think. The only problem I have is eventually a flat earther calls me dumb enough times that I unload on him.
Yeah. So Penguin
Once
J on YouTube is saying, "Are we derplingless? LOL." And then he said, "Sad penguin." I'm sorry, Penguin J. The only thing that I've had flat earthers do in here so far is report my live for like
unoriginal
unoriginal content.
content somehow. Somehow.
I don't know how that's a
Well,
thing because, and the worst thing is, they TikTok. I appealed it and TikTok rejected the appeal. It's like,
yeah.
how is that even a thing? I'm not live streaming any unoriginal content.
I noticed. I did notice we haven't had any more warnings since I told you about buying a box of TikToks on the TikTok shop. Just saying.
That's just so nonsensical. I can't even believe it.
Why did the sun disappear behind a pole during TFE? Because it was tired. Oh, was this not a joke? I don't.
Okay, so DJ Hillbilly, the sun is only half of 1 degree in angular size for an observer on the Earth, which means if you have
Right.
a wide-angle lens like they had at in Antarctica for TFE, the sun is going to appear very, very, very tiny in actual angular size. However, it looks way bigger than that because, spoiler alert, the sun is bright enough to burn your eyes out. So there
Right.
is enormous glare. Usually the glare in, like, depending on obviously camera exposure and stuff, but the glare can make the sun look between 5 and 10 times larger than it actually is on the screen. So
Right.
when you see like a pole and the sun is moving toward the pole, the glare makes it look like 10, maybe even 100 times bigger than it is, depending. Um, so the glare is going to be, obviously the glare is happening in the camera lens, so the glare is going to look like it's in front of the pole. But then as soon as that tiny little solar disk passes behind the pole, boom, the glare is going to be gone. That's just how
Yeah.
optics and cameras work. Um, that's my
You
timer
see the
for
same thing
30
with
minutes.
cars all the time. You see a car doing donuts in a parking lot, and when the headlights look huge, there's like this big bright spot where the headlights are, and then the headlight sweeps behind the light pole, and it goes black for a split second, and then it comes back. You see that effect all the time.
Oh, we got Penguin J saying, "Ah, derp, I feel better now." No
DJ,
offense
what
to
information
DJ
do you think
Hillbilly.
we what DJ? What information do you think we have about Jonathan's release dates for films?
Yeah,
That's the other thing, flat earthers. They expect us to be all knowing. We don't
all
know
we've
what you're
got
talking.
is
I don't know what you're talking about.
all we've got is a trailer, and I think when he was on Dave McKeegan's live stream like a month ago, or maybe a few weeks ago, he said that like it might. He was hoping that maybe it could be released in the next few months or something like that. But I don't remember exactly what he said. You can go and look on Dave McKeegan's YouTube channel, find that live
The
stream, and see
20,
what he said.
the 24-hour sun in the north just happened, so that wait should be over.
But DJ Hillbilly, why is that kind of odd at all? Do you think it takes less than
Yeah,
6 months to put together a
yeah.
really nice documentary from like hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage?
Right.
Hollywood takes longer than that for post production of any movie you can name. Any movie you can name took longer than that for post production.
Yeah.
Um, they
It's sad. It's just sad to watch, to be honest. First of all, why do you think we know anything about it? Number two, it's just, come on, man.
all
Come on,
right.
man. Ask us about something we might know something about, DJ. Come on.
I knew this would happen, by the way. As soon as I
Yeah,
get some flat earthers in here giving some activity, it's time for me to
you
quit
gotta
because
go.
I was only
You gotta
planning to
go.
go for half an hour.
DJ, make sure you follow us so we can talk about it some more.
No, actually, I'm gonna mute him for the entire
Yeah,
live because he just called Will Duffy Shill Duffy,
I
and
saw that.
I
Yeah,
do not appreciate that. Will Duffy
yeah,
did nothing to deserve that, and the insinuation that he's preaching in front of an empty church, no. DJ Hillbilly, that is not welcome on my live stream. Goodbye. That's
yeah.
just completely.
Maybe
It's slander is what it is. It's slander
Yeah,
that Will Duffy is somehow lying or being deceptive about his church when he's not. That's just baseless slander. Slander is not welcome on my live stream. Goodbye.
it's just cheesy, is what it is. It's cheesy lies, is what it is. 8 inches per mile is a good guy. You might know him as Mike Snow. He changed counts.
It was really odd. A 24-hour sun was shining in Antarctica on a flat Earth.
Right. Yeah, he's trolling DJ. He's definitely a Glober. He's a
Awesome.
Baron Rutledge disciple, as we all should be, I think. But
sure. Well, I mean, Baron Rutledge is an actual subject matter expert with surveying. So
Correct.
if you want to talk surveying, you learn from the expert. That's how it works.
Oh, Sea Level just came in. The exact antithesis of an expert.
I see he has
Captain
profound wisdom to contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, Captain Nuh-uh just arrived with a laugh. He's arrived. He's in his first Truth Zone.
What I want to know is how all these flat earthers are joining my live now, when TikTok has refused to recommend it. How's that work?
Yep. Keep the grip going. We will. We've got a good grip on reality. Congratulations. We'll keep on doing that. Oh, grift. You're keeping the grift alive. Good luck.
Sea Level, it may surprise you to learn, I have never earned even 1 cent from TikTok. There's some that has accrued in my account from people throwing change at me, but I bet you it's less than $1. Or it might be a couple of dollars. How is that a grift?
Sea Level's the kind of guy, you're going to tell him you've earned no money off of Globe Earth. He's going to turn around and call you a grifter again. Sea Level's a perfect example of a metaphor I've adopted for flat earthers, which is you can lead a horse to water, but you can't keep it from eating dirt.
There you go.
Yeah, Sea Level's one that you lead the horse to the water. The horse is looking at the water, and it turns and eats the shore. There's nothing you can do when someone isn't gonna even taste the water.
Sea Level says keep thinking large bodies of water curve. Well, they measurably do. Congratulations.
Yeah, they measurably do. Yeah.
So
it's not thinking, it's knowing. We know they brought the curve.
Got some comments on YouTube. Your Victoria says also, why does it matter how long it takes? He's not in a rush or some competing documentary about Jonathan's documentary. Yeah, he's taking his time. He's an artist. He's a filmmaker. He's an artist. He's making art. You can't rush art. I appreciate that. Matt B.
Sea Level, what measurements? Sea Level, what measurements have you taken of a body of water that isn't curved? Could you show us those measurements?
I'm going to keep reading YouTube comments for a minute here. Matt B says, dude is the kind of guy that sits next to you on an empty bus. All flirts are. Oh, boy.
That's right.
Curious UK Debunk says, hi, Peter. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I am going to quit soon, so hope nobody's disappointed by that.
I have to go here in like 5 minutes anyway, so you're not going to hurt my feelings.
Penguin J says they were in shadow waiting for you to say you were stopping.
That's right.
In the shadow.
That way they can get the last word, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Sea Level thinks the Chicago skyline is a body of water. Sea Level, I'm going to ask you again, what measurements have you taken of a large body of water not curving? Any light at the horizon and it was flat or what?
I just had some kind of crazy connection issue.
Weird.
Am I still going?
Nothing went wrong on your live. Yeah, your live didn't shake at all.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah, no, your live. I heard 2 alerts, like you like you got an email, and that was, but your live stayed good.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah. Does the Chicago Skylar, you dope. Amazing. So you Sea Level, you're really, we've given you the ball and you've absolutely bounced it off your foot. I really appreciate it. It really makes me happy. I really appreciate also, while you completely destroyed your own comment, you called us a dope, which is just amazing. There's Chicago Skylar, you dope.
All right. Well, I am going to quit. Thank you so much for joining, Jeff.
Sea Level. Thank you, Sea Level, for the lulls.
Yeah. I would invite some of these flat earthers to join as guests, but I'm trying to wind down and yeah. So thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you being
welcome.
here.
Glad I got your 25 minutes in.
Yep.
Helped you get your 25. You would have done it by yourself, but it was more fun this way.
Sure. Thank you.
See you, man. I'll follow you on YouTube.
Thanks. Bye. All right. People on YouTube saying that stream was still good. Awesome. Last night when I put together the scene in OBS for my drawing live stream, I thought I had duplicated the scene collection, but it turned out I accidentally duplicated a window profile instead. And so all the work I did there was destroying my flat Earth versus globe scene setup in OBS. So I had to recreate that almost from scratch, and that was frustrating. But Curious UK Debunk says, "See ya, Peter. Have a good night." Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We got Matt B, Penguin J, Big Fish, Val's Forge. Is that Jeff saying that he... Yeah, I think Jeff is saying that Jeff guy was awesome. Very cool. Evolution of Motion says, "Good to see you again. Glad to have you back." Thank you. I don't know if like when I'll live stream next about Flat Earth versus Globe. I'm just trying to keep my TikTok live studio privileges running, basically. It's such a fight to keep this thing going. Because they keep revoking privileges and flagging my live and stuff. Jeff Polson on YouTube says sea level is a dingus. Did you say that just where he couldn't see you? just so he couldn't reply. I mean, fair. He's not demonstrated much intelligence here. Evolution of Motion says, "I just stayed in to help with the views." Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining. I am going to call it quits. Hopefully that unlocks my display capture feature again. See you all later. Oh, for people on YouTube, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this working on TikTok, but for people on YouTube, I am planning to live stream again, I think, to finish the manga that I was drawing last night. So keep an eye out for that, I guess. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a good night. And how do I end this? All right. Ending on YouTube.